This video I'm going to show you how to place a floor in your structure and how to design that floor. I'm going to just show you a simple method of doing so, and then of course I'll come back later and get to something a little bit more complicated and do like an advanced version of this video. But to do a floor, we have a floor tool. The floor tool works kind of simple. Floor architectural is what we want to start with. And right now we have a generic 12-inch floor, and just like I did with the walls, I use one of these floors in here as a template to build the rest of my floors. Now, the floor that you're going to build, if you're in my class in Texas, you're going to actually build a slab foundation. You will get an opportunity to work with T-types and things of that nature, but right now, you're going to do a slab foundation on this particular project. What I do want to do is, let's see what I have choices of here. 2020 looks pretty much about the same, but we have wood joists, so we're definitely not going to use wood joists on the first floor. We need to find something. Let's just go ahead and just use the 12-inch generic. We'll go in and edit type, and depending on how thick we want our foundation. Now typically, you know, your foundation by code, I believe it has to be 6 inches at least of concrete under the house. Of course, we know in reality that's going to vary, because I don't think any surface that you put that on is going to be perfectly 100% straight and level. It'll be really straight and level, but of course the concrete will help level your house out altogether. So in some areas you might have 6 inches of concrete, some areas you might have 6.5 inches of concrete, or again, depending on the build, it could be a much thicker, especially if you know, if the land itself has got some huge variations in it. So let me stop boring you to death here, and we're actually going to knock this 12-inch down. We're going to do about 8 inches. It is set as a structural component. We're going to click on by category in the material column and choose, let's see, we have some concrete. I forget exactly how it's listed, but we'll find it. Cast in place, that's what it is. It's cast in place concrete. So I need to go down to the C's, and let me flip this back over. There we go. So concrete, cast in place gray, because our foundation will be cast in place. And I'm going to change it from a 1 foot to, I could change it to a 6 inch, 8 inch, whatever I want to do. I'm going to do like an 8 inch. Be on the safe side. Click OK, and of course, you know, it will become an 8 inch structure. Again, I'm going to click on that. I should have stayed in that to begin with, but I'm going to insert my actual floor material. Now when I click this insert button, it just puts the new row down at the bottom. So I'm going to use this up button. I'm going to move that layer up. Now that's actually going to be my floor finish. As you notice, I am up above the core boundary layer. It's not going to be a structure, it is going to be a finish. Okay, and by category, depends on what we want to use. There is I think a hardwood already listed in here. Maybe not, or maybe it's down here with wood. Wood stained is probably what I'm thinking of. So let's say we want a wood stained floor. We click let's see, patterns. We need to put a pattern on it. We're going to choose the oops, again I clicked right here, the foreground pattern, and it's going to be the tight horizontal right there. Okay, and that's really all I need to change at this moment. Okay, and we can do some other things like insert some photography in there and stuff like that, which I'll show you in a later, more advanced video. And the thickness of that will probably be approximately 3/4 of an inch. I mean, not 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to say 1/4. Or, nah, let's say 1/2 of an inch. If you want to know for sure, just go and get a hold of the type of flooring that you want to use and get its specifications. Wood flooring can vary in thickness. Laminate can vary in thickness. But, okay, so I've got my 8-inch concrete and then my wood on top. Click OK, and now you see how it added the wood on top of my slab, and hit apply. Now what it's going to do when I place this, it's going to place it below the house, all except for that finish. Finish itself that I added to it's going to actually come up above the wall just a little bit, or above the foundation line. So all I have to do now, I'm still in that floor tool, and I just click all around the walls that I want to put this type of flooring in. And this is my garage. It's going to be concrete, so I'm not going to put it in there. I mean, I probably could. Oops. And I did mistakenly click another line there. Okay, and do it like so. Now these lines, you see how this one lines up in the center of the wall and this one lines up on the inside. I definitely want to make sure that that is consistent. And in this particular case too, I want to stretch that line, or actually place that line, if I can get to it. There we go. I want to place it out here on the outside of the wall, because this is a concrete slab and they typically pour to the outside of the wall. You can do an offset as you're placing the floor if you want to, or you can just come in here and manually do it, which I feel like is just a little bit easier. That one I don't need. And here, okay, because I am going to have the garage right there, so I'm going to put this in the center, actually, in the center of the wall. And I'll have to zoom in a little closer so it will behave. Okay, so I'm going to put that one in the center because I'm going to have another type of slab over in this area. And there we go. And then all you have to do is click the green check mark, and you now have a hardwood floor, or whatever material you chose to put in there. So that's it for floors. Let me show you how it looks in 3D. So go to our 3D view. Okay, I understand. All right, and you see how it places the concrete below the house. Okay, that's your slab right there. There's a little bit more work we're going to do to that slab, but later on. We're not going to worry about doing it at the moment. Okay, so that is floors. I'll show you some more advanced tricks on that later on.